gaming. Today I've talking about a video, and I've already talked about some of the idea of what you could get on the community market for $50. Now we have compared recently unusual files for taunts, and we've found that they were actually a lot cheaper on average in the community market. So what we've done is I've got an experienced trader to go out and try and find me two unusual options for $50 or less, as regards the original challenge on community market. So let's go through some of the hats that I was able to obtain. Now I've looked at the backpack, and this is I talked to Lemon, who's a trader that I've done a lot with. He's gone away and he's found me for the cost of $50 or less of two unusuals. I asked him to try and get a multi-classer and to try and get two different classes. The first one he was managing to get was actually this one here. This here is a hat. It is a unusual detective Gnaw. It comes in vivid plasma. Okay, it's a spy only hat, so it's not really a multi-classer, but it's a fairly cool looking effect. The vivid plasma does make him look fairly cool, and I think this is an effect that would be particularly good basically on any server, but certainly with night servers. So from my point of view, I think getting this for well under $50 was probably the pick of his non-pyro unusuals. I asked him to get me a unusual that I could wear as well, and for under 50 again, just so we've got the theme of that, unusuals for under 50. The previous unusual, the head of hot air, came from this community market. It was just secured. These ones I paid a trusted friend who has done trading for a long time via PayPal. So that's I guess that's how I funded them. And the community market, you can pay directly with PayPal, but if you're using a second party, you have to have that level of trust between you and that party to be able to transfer the money and know you're going to get the items, or for them to give you the items and know that they're going to get the money. So I do have that level of trust with this trader, and I would not have just handed over money to anyone, especially if I only know them peripherally or for a short time. So that's the Gnaw. The other item he was managed to get in was a Phononaut, and this was relatively cheap. It's an item that really I hadn't got a lot to do, but it is actually a multi-class item. So he did actually, true to the form, asked me to get a pyro class or something, and a multi-class class. So he got a single class hat, which we've already seen, but he also got this multi-class hat, and this is quite neat. It has this subatomic effect. So in a pyro, it's got this effect with green dancing lights, like in atomics orbitals around an atom. So from my point of view, I like this hat. It's under $50, and I would think it's a bargain. So there are three options of the hat: two from the traders, and then I've got to ask them to go away and get me a multi-classer and a single classer with the best effects with vivid plasma and subatomic. Subatomic is quite a nice effect, and if you put it in with something like a scorching flame or a green energy, you could get a really lovely effect with like a electron cloud glow. So they're the three items, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'll just see what class it looks best on. Yeah, oh God, he looks like a bit of he looks a bit simple there. He looks good. Yeah, I think it looks best on the pyro or the Demo Man. Okay, no worries. So this has been Fat Stormtrooper for Daft Gaming. Peace out. Hey, it's that Stormtrooper. Today I'm going to look for unusuals under 50 US dollars. I've asked one of the traders to go away and find two unusuals for 50 US dollars or less. I made a video recently and I initially thought of 25 US dollars, but I sort of got mucked up with what keys were worth again. And anyway, the long and short of it is this is a video now where I'm going to look at the community market. So you come along here to the filters, you put unusual, okay, and we really want cosmetic items, okay, so I'm not looking for taunts and stuff, and there are some nice taunts around, so we're going to rank them now by price. Okay, so the best unusual effect, what we're looking for, and we've already looked at a lot of these through the previous video I showed when I was looking for cheaper effects, but let's look at some nice effects. Now, I mean, I guess should we look for an all-class or a multi-classer? I've seen some good effects on Alpha Steam. This is a green phallic effect. Not a fan, but it is, I guess, a little Christmas theme. Ordinary planets. No. There's presidents. Aces high. Nuts and bolts. Aces high. Nuts and bolts. Aces high is not a bad effect, but it's not one of those whip your eyes out of effect. Vivid plasma, not bad. Vivid plasma, also not bad. There's a few vivid plasmas. Miami Nights, I've gone off that one. Searing plasma, well, that's interesting. So Alpha Steam does have some good effects for under 50. Vivid plasma, circling heart, searing plasma. Let's go up here. That's over 50, so that's out of the range. Okay, so let's go back again. I guess I'm just sort of looking at hats that I like. None of those, I mean, I don't mind the Alpha Steam for this time of the year. The Electric Escorter, Stuntman, the Glengarry Bonnet can have some good things. All the lower tier effects, nuts and bolts, and bubbling, mass flies, yuck, yuck. Purple confetti, Terawatt's okay. It's better than being shot in the dick. Circling peace sign, Terawatt's okay, but I mean it's not a. Yeah, I think we might be able to do better. This is a little bit like the Ultra Gibbous, the Metal Gibbous. Aces high. Electrostatic. Electrostatic. Dead presidents. Okay, Cloud 9. There's some interesting effects there. Electrostatic. Memory leak. Bit expensive though, so far a limit. So there's some interesting ones, and you know, I mean, electrostatic's an interesting effect. Chickens recently reviewed these. They can have some good effects. Smoking. I mean, I don't mind that as a hat, to tell you the truth. A lot of lower tier effects, but if you go up around the 50 mark, let's have a look. I really hadn't considered this an option until I saw Chicken's video, but it actually looked okay for some of them. Purple confetti. This is one that you can almost get away with wearing mass flies from because you've got stinky shits down the toilet. So anyway, so that's probably one of the few ones that you could get away with it. Stately steel toe, we've looked at those, but I don't think you're going to get anything. This is not the best effect in the world. Sometimes it looks a bit mad on heavy, but you can sometimes get some good effects. I've even seen like, look at that, that's a spell, but it's nuts and bolts, so yuck. Okay, but you can also sometimes get quite decent effects on this hat because it's not almost pop. Cauldron bubbles is a Halloween effect. They're green bubbles, they look fairly cool. Orbiting fire, yeah. The mallard I can take, the orbiting fire is just a bit too played, I think. Disco Beat Down, Opening Fire, Power Surge. Power Surge can be okay too. Searing Plasma. Oh, Mass Flies. You're dreaming, pal. You're dreaming. You're so dreaming, man. In a nightmare, a wet dream you can't wake up from. This is the one we selected last time, and that actually had some. This had, if you go up to around the $50 mark, I'm not going to sort of select it again or anything, but if you go around the $50 mark, you know, there can be Subatomic looks okay, Codex, Hat Protector, Abduction's a bloody good effect. Abduction looks cool. So, I mean, for a pyro, that's not a bad effect. Abduction is a cool effect. It looks good. Unusual Scotch bonnet. That's like a crowd control. Yeah, football match crowd control. Steaming. Butts and bolts. Blizzardy storm. Steaming. We'll go back down here. Green confetti. Not a popular hat, but can look quite okay. Smoking, but again, then it takes a steep turn up to here. It's Dark Haunted Ghost and Disco Beat Down, and I don't think I want to go there, you know. You're still getting some cheaper ones. This is a very popular hat, this Samurai. I mean, the lower tier ones as usual, the nuts and bolts and the bloody, you know, smokings and Aces High is okay, but yeah, again, not really themed for Samurai. Aces High, Barbling, Orbiting Fire, yuck. Again, lacking the Honey's Hood. The War Hood could be nice. It's for the heavy. It's not a bad looking effect. But the problem is at this price you're probably not going to get. I mean, Aces High might fit okay, but you know, you want something that really grabs the eye. The old Snaggletooth used to have some quite cheap effects, and I remember years ago getting Scorching Flames for you know, it's about a year ago. Scorching Flames for like, you know, $20 on the Steam community market. So, you know, you can get occasionally some cheap stuff with those, but I mean, Blizzardy Storm, I mean, you're not going to really be the Arctic Crocodile. Aces High. Again, we've priced ourselves out. But, you know, just interestingly, at the top end, you sometimes get some unusual things like that Spellbound, which is a fairly uncommon effect. You know, Burning Flames. You know, this is a Burning Flames for $130 US. There's not many hats you can get Burning Flames for that on. Scorching Flames, you see what I mean? So the Crocodile can sometimes, you can get relatively good effects if you're a sniper, you know, for not the most money, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's all shit. The counterfeit billycock is a hat which has gained popularity. It's a hat Chicken did a review on in the past, and yeah, it's a spy hat, and the spy looks actually okay in it. So I mean, this is a Halloween dye job, you know. That's got a spell on it, which is always good. And another dye job on the Halloween. So some spells there going for under 50. Oh, Starstorm Insomnia. Oh, yes. That is something which is good. That is definitely come to the top of my list. Yes, Starstorm Insomnia hits the top of my list. For stuff that I would like, it's a good effect. I have always liked Insomnia and Starstorm Slumber. I've always liked those two effects. They've been solid effects. Whoever designed them, I'm the art and stuff, but I actually do like those effects. This is a Scotsman stovetype. It's like a gibbous for Scottish people. And orbiting planets, Stormy Storm. Again, it's got all the usual sort of lower tier effects, which not a lot of people want. Just on the limit, Stormy Storm, green confetti. No, it's just not quite what we want. This detective snore, we actually, you'll see that in our video later. This is one of the ones that the trader selected. But look here, the effects that you can get on this market for under 50 are pretty average effects and not worth it, in my opinion. Buckaroo's hat, every now and again, because there's a few of them around, you can get a decent effect. Purple confetti, that's okay, I guess. Green confetti, electrostatic. That's an okay effect. That's something else I'd think about, but I mean, I think the slumber and a Halloween effect there coming in, under 50. If it was the junior, the Haunted Phantasms Junior, I would be into that straight away. But I'm not so taken back by the actual haunted ghosts. So let's keep on going. So we've got one potential hat that I'm really looking at. The Professionals Panama. It actually does look okay. But again, a lot of the effects that you're going to get are probably going to be lower tier. Let's have a look and see. Oh, Headless Horseshoes. Headless Horseshoes and Kilowatt. Now, the Headless Horseshoes is actually a Halloween spell. Okay, get this, a Halloween spell, and you get the Headless Horseman's shoe prints as well, which in a Halloween server or a full moon server look pretty fucking specky. So that is a hat that I'm already drawn towards. So there's two that we've got. We've got the Starstorm, and we've got the Panama with the Headless Horseman. So I'm getting to the stage where I'm almost finished looking, because that's a bloody good hat for the price. Terawatt. Oh my god. Oh, yeah, Slumber as well. This is... I mean, that's... yeah. You know something? This is a good hat. Slumber. And I am really... I'm actually taken back. So I was actually looking for two sort of hats so far, and I've sort of found three I like. The Panama looks okay. It's a paintable hat as well, so you can paint it, and it looks okay. Let's keep on going. So it's a general all-purpose hat. The Jeep hat can look okay too, but again, the effects that you're going to get down here are probably shit. Yeah. That's really ugly, but still. Disco beat down, aces high, bubbling, bubbling, smoking, smoking. Mass flies, cloud nine, purple confetti. Nah. Okay, I've lost interest with a lot of these hats now. So I'm going to go up to 12, that's enough for me. The Air Dog could look quite good if you get a cheap effect, but I did a giveaway a while ago where we gave away a Burning Flames Air Dog, and nowadays purple confetti, you wouldn't get that for the same price because they've actually gone up. Kilowatt, Starstorm Slumber. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, from my point of view, there's some lovely hats here. I'm going to start knuckling down, and I'll just sort of buy the ones that I think I like and I would wear. Peace. Okay, this facts coming back for the community market. I'm just going to look now in this inventory about these new items I just brought in from the SCUM, SCM. So Steam Community Market, I abbreviate it for SCUM. The professional Panama's Unusual is a kilowatt, and this has got the Headless Horseman's footprints were active during the spell on a full moon server. It came in at about $36 or something like that. I liked it. This is about $42. Starbucks Insomnia, and it's a spy hat, and it looks cool on a spy. The next one, which is almost 50, again, Starstorm of Slumber, as opposed to Insomnia. You know, the Panama is not the most popular hat, but it is paintable and it looks cool. This is the Shooting Stars. I mean, it's appropriate because he's wearing like a cannonball guy's hat, you know, so he's going to get shot out of a freaking cannon. And he's got a Starstorm Slumber, which is he's shooting through the stars. He's a shooting star. I reckon this is not a bad effect. So these hats are all pretty. They're not multi-classes, but they are all pretty good. And I guess the question is, I've got those, and I can put them up against what the trader's got, and we'll come to some sort of conclusion at the end. So these effects are sort of for generally under 30 keys, so $50 US dollars. Okay, so I'll go on with the rest of the video. We'll come to some sort of conclusion. Incidentally, Chickens selected somebody from the chat section on YouTube, and we're going to give them the choice of either these four or the other two, one of those, and they can make the choice about which hat they're going to take home. So this is a giveaway for somebody that we were having a chat with, and so it's one of our random giveaways. So we do giveaways. We do not respond to begging, so do not beg. And anyway, so I'll crack on with the rest of the vid. Okay, well, in conclusion, we've got some very interesting hats here. The traders come back with two items. The Phononaut in a multi-classer has got a good effect, and it's a multi-classer. Do not wear it on the soldier; it makes you look simple. But my own personal view. Basically, we've got a giveaway at the moment, and we've selected Nexi Arco in order to receive this unusual. Now all these unusuals are for $50 or less, and you've seen them already. They're actually good value for $50. The unusuals that I do like the Starbucks Slumber. The subatomic I would not have thought of, but it is multi-classer, and you could have one unusual to do everything, and it's certainly something that's resaleable, because you're not going to get somebody who's just a pyro main and soldier main. Not soldier, don't wear it on a soldier, sorry, because it makes you look simple. But everything else, all the other classes except for soldier, who I wouldn't be seen dead in, it's not a bad hat. So I reckon that's probably the pick of the bunch. In terms of the single class ones, for that $36 for that the hat with the Halloween effect, as well as a decent unusual effect, that was pretty good, and that's probably the best value hat. The best actual hat for a single classer, like looking at all classes, the billycock looks good in a spy, and with that effect, that is the sort of effect that hat looks a lot more expensive than it's worth. So really, for the single classer, I would have to give it to the billycock. I know that the Nor hat has been found by the trader, and that's also very good value, but for the single class I'd have to give it to the billycock. For the well, I didn't get a multi-class of that cheap on the community market, but that Phononaut is bloody good value, and I mean, I think it's probably worth more than $50 myself. It's a nice hat. So I would probably think they're the pick of the two, but the best value hat is undoubtedly the Halloween footprints with the other thing. That way you get a spell. Halloween footprints look really freaking cool. The headless horseman's footprints on servers, and you can't get spells, and then that's a good solid hat, and it's a very likable hat as well. So I'd really like to know in the comments what you think. What do you think's the best hat? Which hat do you think is the pick of the crowd? Anyway, peace, and try and carry yourselves over this silly season. Don't get as drunk as me.